whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. I'm attorney Gavin Richard. I grew up here in New Orleans, so I know how important family, friends, and community are to us. And helping others has been a lifelong passion of mine. If you've been injured in an accident, you may be out of work and faced with large medical bills. You'll need someone to fight the insurance companies so that you can get on with your life. Give me a call at 504-799-2288, and I'll be with you all the way. The law offices of Gavin M. Richard, going the distance so that justice may be served. Let's get out. Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., the destruction of due process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jell-O, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row on Thursday nights. It was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format. The place to be is right here with me. It is Random Topic Tuesdays, only on channel Gbu2786, on Gavin Richard via Facebook, and on Periscope via Twitter at GavinRich2786. And for all my family that's on Facebook, thank you for following me, whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you are blessed and doing safe. On tonight's channel, we are discussing the following. The Sun attacks Richard Williams. Malika Shabazz, daughter of Malcolm X, dead at the age of 56. And jury now deliberates in the Ahmaud Arbery matter. I shouldn't say Ahmaud Arbery matter because Ahmaud Arbery is not on trial. It's really the McMichael Bryan trial. But I meant to say the Ahmaud Arbery murder. Excuse me. All this and more. We'll be joined by our friend and colleague. Welcome to the panel on a special edition of Random Topic Thursdays, which is now on Tuesdays. Brother Shawn James. Shawn, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Gavin?
I'm doing great, Shawn. Thank you for tuning in and blessing us with your presence here before this Thanksgiving. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get started in a minute. In the meantime, I ask you to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you are interested again in advertising, that is the link to the email at gavin.grich1@gmail.com. Hit me up for rates. We ask that you donate to the Cash App, PayPal, and Google Pay and Zelle at the bottom. You can send that to the exact same email. And also support our brother Shawn James. You could buy some of his books, such as The Man Crisis and the John Haynes series, which are available on Amazon.com. We have a link here that's to John Haynes, The Man with Nothing to Lose. That was a previous book he did, but also some of the other books that he has written for the SJS directive that he has put out, such as John Haynes Taking Care of Business and Revenge of the Cyber Goddess, are all available on Amazon.com. So if we're thankful for him, especially in this week of Thanksgiving, for joining us tonight. And I'm thankful for you all being here tonight as well. I'd ask also, if you could go to our website, of course, to promote our seasoning, since it is Thanksgiving. Don't forget to order, and I haven't seen any, but some Nonnie's Creole blends. You can have that in time for the holidays. Nonnie's is a product that we have launched. You can try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nonnie's goes great with every dish. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we have our music. We ask that you please go to our music page, my music page, and go on iTunes and Apple and get Video Soul. That's the latest single that I have dropped recently, back in September. And I ask you please download it. It's available on Amazon, Spotify, and Apple. And finally, before we get on down, we always got to get on up, and that is the themes.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the...
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
And move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Gavin Richard Presents here on YouTube channel GBoo2786 on Gavin Richard, our backup channel. And if you're watching via Facebook and on Twitter, thank you all, whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Let us bring in our guest of honor tonight, brother Shawn James. Shawn, of course, is the author of books such as The Man Crisis and the John Haynes series, The Man with Nothing to Lose. Shawn, thank you again for tuning in. And why don't you, while I got you here, why don't you plug in some books?
All right, I'm going to talk about the books of the fall catalog of the SJS Direct Imprint, and those are Stop Simping in Cyberspace and E-Steam Cancel Vacation. And you can find both of these books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format right now because both books are available. And I'm asking everybody to go out and pick up both of these books and other books on the SJS Direct Imprint, like Isis Revenge of the Cyber Goddess, this holiday season, and share some positive Black fiction with your family.
Most definitely, Shawn, most definitely. And I'm grateful that you were able to make it, especially I know we do this live on Thursdays, but of course, Thursday is Thanksgiving. So I don't know about you, but I'll probably be too stuffed to do this live show or anything like that. Did you have any plans for Thanksgiving?
Planning to just have dinner with my family, and I'm also just getting ready to plan for Black Friday and trying to get some sales up for Black Friday and trying to get people pick up books on the SJS Direct Imprint this holiday season. So I'm going to be doing a Black Friday live stream, trying to rally sales and trying to get people to pick up books and share them with their friends and family this holiday season.
Most definitely. And I want everybody right now, if you can, subscribe to our Facebook page for, speaking of books, since you brought it up, Shawn, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby, Destruction of Due Process in the United States. That'll be a must read for anyone. That is the link to that is our website, our page on Facebook, where you can get updates to any events that are going to be coming when the book will be released. Finally, it's in the final stages. It's just always, when you have people looking over it to double check things, it takes a little while. So that's primarily what's holding everything up. But better safe than sorry. So that's why I wanted everything there. But the book will be available soon via Amazon. You can buy on Kindle in paperback format. And what I also just want to mention, I will be on WBOK 12:30 a.m. here in New Orleans this Tuesday. That's coming at about 8 o'clock. I'll give you more details on Sunday. I'll be on live with the morning talk show on WBOK 12:30 a.m. promoting his book and talking about the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Bill Cosby and the railroading that took place with Dr. Cosby. So if you're here in the New Orleans area, and even if you're not here, I believe you can stream online. You can go ahead and check that out. Hopefully, Shawn, you'll be able to listen into it if you can listen on the internet. So
I'll check it out.
yeah, I'll see if I might be able to post a link on the Facebook page so everybody can go live, because they have a Facebook page as well when they want to interview people. So that'll be cool. All right. So while I got you, Shawn, I know our time is limited. So let us get into the news, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as most of you already know, I have been covering this trial for the last few weeks or so, that the jury now is deliberates in the McMichael Bryan murder case. Sorry, my computer's running a little slow. I'm just looking at it. Yeah, so the jury now is out after closing arguments today, where the prosecutor gave her rebuttal on to this Tuesday morning. The judge read his charges, and now the jury has deliberated in the case of the McMichael Bryan, and Bryan is misspelled, trial in regards to the shooting death of one Ahmaud Arbery. We know Ahmaud Arbery was killed back in February of 2020 by Travis McMichael as his father was in the pickup, and William Roddy Bryan was, of course, following behind. ADA Linda Dubikowski gave her rebuttal, while the defense attorneys on Monday, all three defense attorneys for each different defendant, gave their own respective closing argument. But it is the closing argument of one Laura Hogg who made the following remarks regarding Ahmaud Arbery during her closing argument. So I want everybody to pay attention and listen to what she had to say that has sparked outrage recently. Excuse me 1 second. Hold on, I'm sorry. Who's the... My mistake, guys. I'm trying to play the video. I got company here walking in and out the door, so that's distracting me. But give me 1 second. I actually have this up for you all right now. This has happened earlier today. About 12 hours ago. The defense lawyer, on yesterday, I should say, defense lawyer attorney Laura Hogg made the following remarks, which is sparking outrage. And this is the video here. And this is coming courtesy of WJCL. Again, this is fair use. Act of okay. Sorry, Shawn. Hold up. I got it.
All right.
There we go.
Something actually has to be stolen. You just have to enter with the intent to steal something.
This was not a citizen's arrest. Wanting to question Ahmaud demonstrates uncertainty.
The defense and prosecution presenting their closing arguments in the Ahmaud Arbery case today. Our Danae Bucci live at the Glenn County Courthouse with what Arbery's family supporters want to see as they prepare for deliberations. Hey, Danae.
Well, Frank, members of the new Black Panther Party have been here for hours demanding justice for Ahmaud Arbery.
The first thing I must say is I couldn't tell in this courtroom from the defense argument whether this was 2021 or 1921.
All we ask for in America, 400 years, give us justice, give us liberty, give us freedom and independence.
There were at least 7 armed new Black Panther members here standing and marching outside the courthouse. There were several props brought out by supporters, including this coffin with a mannequin on the inside, adorned by names of people of color who have been killed. They say this case symbolizes issues going on across the country.
White vigilantism is on the rise and is at stake right now in this trial. The facts are clear. Ahmaud Arbery posed no threat to human life on that day.
That's right. Right.
And jury deliberations are expected to begin tomorrow. Frank?
All right, thank you. Our Danae Bucci reporting live from Glenn County tonight. Well, inside the courtroom, both sides were given their final chance to convince the jury.
Morgan Norwood has a closer look at closing arguments.
After weeks of hearing testimony from more than 20 witnesses, jurors in the case of the 3 white men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery, an unarmed Black man, now listening to attorneys make their closing arguments. The prosecution wrapping up their case, telling jurors Ahmaud Arbery was targeted because of his race.
And they made their decision to attack Ahmaud Arbery in their driveways because he was a Black man running down the street.
Travis McMichael, his father Gregory, and William Roddy Bryan Jr. are accused of chasing down and murdering Ahmaud Arbery was jogging through their neighborhood. All 3 men have pleaded not guilty. The attorney for Travis McMichael telling the panel the shooting happened out of self-defense and that the killing was justified under a citizen's arrest law in Georgia that's since been repealed. The defense painting a picture of a neighborhood riddled with crime and the McMichaels as its protectors.
And he's scared. And so he's done what he thinks the law allows him to do, which is to try to de-escalate that approach by showing force. Showing force necessary to prevent Travis himself or his father from getting beaten and possibly killed.
But prosecutors say the defendant's assumptions that Arbery was a thief were wrong and that he didn't take anything, unlike the others who were seen wandering in this same neighborhood without alarm.
Nothing actually has to be stolen. You just have to enter with the intent to steal something.
This was not a citizen's arrest. Wanting to question Ahmaud demonstrates uncertainty. Hey, where are you coming from? They don't know where he's coming from. What are you doing? They don't know what he's doing.
You can stream the entire trial live on our website, WJCL.com, or on our free WJCL 22 News app. You can also hear more from the closing arguments.
is always policing itself. How else does one hold an individual who does not want to be arrested for the police? You have to contain him. Not false imprison him. Contain him. You have to possibly hold him at gunpoint without firing a shot. Not an aggravated assault. But the use of a reasonable and measured amount of force to make him stay where he did not want to stay. A beautiful teenager with a broad smile in a crooked baseball cap can go astray. He can deteriorate and lose his way. And years later, he can end up creeping into a home that is not his own and running away instead of facing the consequences, acting erratically when approached, and making terrible, unexpected, illogical choices. Be very clear. Be very clear. No one is saying that Ahmaud Arbery deserved to die for whatever it was he was doing inside 220 Satilla Drive, because that's not why he died. He died because for whatever inexplicable, illogical reason, instead of staying where he was, whatever overwhelming reason he had to avoid being captured that day and arrested by the police, he chose to fight. The grandparents on golf carts in Satilla Shores, the kids on bikes in your neighborhood, the couples walking their dogs after dinner in our small town neighborhoods deserve no less. Greg McMichael is not a murderer. He's not guilty. The police can be counted on to help, to respond, but they can't be everywhere and they can't be everything. A good neighborhood is always policing itself. How else does one hold an individual who does not want to be?
Now, I'm trying to actually, I had the video up and apparently, I don't know what happened to it, but what was actually said in the remark was regarding Ahmaud's toenails. She made a remark about his toenails in court yesterday, and that had many people outraged. And Shawn, I don't know if you saw it, but I'll play it on CNN right quick so we can, I know we got to respond because I'm trying not to go too long on this, but I do want to play it just for continuity's sake. And we can go ahead. I'm sure CNN, of course, will have it because it's right here. But she said that she attacked his long, dirty toenails. And to have some context, my understanding, according to what they reported on Court TV, they could try to bring in issues of Ahmaud Arbery's mental health, and they could not do that. And apparently, they claim they had a conversation with Donahue, who was the Dr. Donahue, who was the autopsy technician, well, not technician, but the coroner that performed Ahmaud Arbery's autopsy, and said, based off his fingernails, his toenails, while they were dirty and long, it showed the signs of someone who had mental health issues. Now, I call bullshit on
fact. Not all synthetic motor oils are created the same. Crude oil is crude.
Let's play this. I'm gonna play it, be real brief, Shawn, because I want you to comment, and I know you've been waiting. So I'm just trying to make sure we get the right.
Cooper joins us now, along with her attorney, Lee Merritt. Ms. Cooper Jones, I thank you once again for being with us tonight. I've heard defense lawyers, prosecutors over the last several hours say it was just out of line what the defense attorney said about your son. The quote.
Why? Okay, it's not playing the actual video, and I don't know why. I had it up. It seems like everywhere I go, they take this thing down. But I'm trying to play the actual video clip. I don't need to hear. Okay. Let me see if this has got to be it here. I apologize.
He can end up creeping into a home that is not his own and running away instead of facing the consequences, acting erratically when approached, and making terrible, unexpected, illogical choices. But a mother's love doesn't fade from that beautiful boy.
Now listen to this shit. This is it here.
To the young intruder. And sadly, no verdict can change the grief of that future not realized. The hope that he could have turned himself around. Because all we can guess about the young man is that his teenage years were full of promise, but his early 20s just led him in the wrong direction. The facts presented in this trial bear no resemblance to the story that the state told you in opening statement. A 25-year-old who met a brutal death after being chased and killed by residents of a neighborhood who wanted nothing more than to murder him for having the audacity to jog in their neighborhood. Not a single piece of evidence that's been presented to you in this entire trial supports such a hateful and gruesome set of circumstances. Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails. There were two sets of decision makers on February 23rd. It is not just the McMichaels decisions that led to this tragedy. And it is a tragedy. I see it in your faces, and I have felt it in mine.
Okay, that was the comment. And Ahmaud Arbery's mother, with her attorney, Lee Merritt, as you saw, was on CNN talking about this. Shawn, with John Berman. Shawn, I'm going to go ahead and let you speak. Miss Arbery's comment, she actually said, that was just beyond rude. That was still my son, and my son was actually running for his life in that description. Reacting to a defense attorney saying Arbery was wearing no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails. Let me just say this too, very briefly, because I want Shawn to get his take. I do know in closing arguments, lawyers typically have leeway about giving their art when they're giving their closing arguments. They have a little leeway to go with things, so it is not uncommon for them to make comments about the case or say something about the victim, especially in a self-defense claim. However, saying that, describing his physical appearance, to me, was nothing more than an attempt to, what she essentially to me was saying was, this dirty nigger. That's the way it came across to me, and I think to a lot of people who were listening, it was just beyond, it's not even shocking in living in today's day and age. Shawn?
Well, to me, when I hear those statements talking about Ahmaud Arbery's hygiene, that's an attempt to try to demonize Ahmaud Arbery and try to say that he is less of a human being. It's an effort to try to demonize Ahmaud Arbery and try to minimize his value as a human being and try to make it look like these men were in some ways justified to take this man's life because they saw him as being less of a human being. This is a low blow from the defense, but they came up with this low blow, this ad hominem attack, because they are desperate. After the whole cross-examination of one of these defendants practically put the nail in the coffin of their case, now they are desperate to try to get any sort of attention. So now they're trying to persuade the jury by trying to go for an ad hominem attack on Ahmaud Arbery's hygiene, and that is the lowest of low blows. That's just, again, very low to do and very, again, disgusting to do. And it just shows how sad this defense is, that they cannot argue their case based on the merits of the facts, but they've got to come out here and attack the man personally. And to attack this man in such a way, again, just shows such desperation, because only a desperate person is going to go out here and make this kind of statement, because that person knows they cannot win on the argument. And it's like what a YouTuber said a long time ago: if you can't win an argument, you have to go on ad hominem attacks. That means the other side has won the argument, and you practically have lost.
Yes. The defense argument, especially about this citizen's arrest issue, even during the rebuttal by the prosecutor, they objected because she was giving to them a wrong interpretation of the law. And that went on for several minutes. In fact, they moved for a motion for a mistrial along with the defense. In fact, William Roddy Bryan's attorney, Kevin Goff, moved for about 8 mistrials during this whole trial, including this one, trying to get the case thrown out because black pastors were in the courtroom, the protesters that were outside. I just wish that he had Mr. Cosby, Dr. Cosby would have had the attention of a judge like the judge in this case, Timothy Wamsley, or even better yet, the Bruce Schroeder, since he was very protective of the defendant and his rights, because Mr. Cosby did not get that in this case. And here we have video footage of Mr. Arbery being chased down by these devils. And I'm just going to say it. And yes, you can be the worst person in the world, Shawn. You could be Adolf Hitler. You could have been Benito Mussolini. You could have been Pol Pot. You know, anybody. Here in the United States, and the Constitution allows all persons born here with protections, especially during a criminal proceeding. So I respect that, being a lawyer, and I understand they are innocent until proven guilty by a court of the law. But the bottom line is, we know as black men that every day we have to think about what's going to happen the moment we step outside. I'm not scared of what happens when I walk outside, because I don't consider myself a victim and I don't live my life like that. But when we're talking about jogging, when you're in an all-white neighborhood and so forth, or just walking in there, you always have that fear in the back of your head that somebody's watching you and getting stopped by the police, that happening. And in this case, these men who claim they made a citizen's arrest, they were not police officers. Now, yes, I know that law is present there, but you got to look at it also from Ahmaud Arbery's perspective. You got strangers coming up to you with armed weapons. They don't announce themselves as police officers. They're not saying you're under arrest. In fact, Travis McMichael, who testified, who was the shooter, he actually did himself a disservice getting on the witness stand, because he practically admitted everything that he did and what it did not do, which is tell him you're under arrest, tell him we saw you take something, things of that nature. So to Ahmaud Arbery, I don't have to talk to you if I don't want to. You haven't announced who you are. You're not telling me why you're stopping me, why you're following me. He has as much of a right to defend himself. He did have a right to defend himself as they claim to have, even more because they were armed.
He definitely had a right to defend himself, because these men are armed. You don't know who these guys are. You don't know what they want or what they're looking for. I mean, this was a very terrifying situation for Ahmaud Arbery to be in. These random guys just coming out of nowhere. They're not law enforcement, and and the whole thing is, these men, they had no right to go out here and do anything, because Ahmaud Arbery had not committed any crime. And if they they thought there was an issue, they could have easily called law enforcement and let law enforcement deal with the situation. This whole thing with this vigilantism from some of these males out here is a dangerous thing. And we really need to let people know how dangerous it is, because these kind of guys, they don't understand what the law is. They don't understand what police procedures are. They don't understand that a person is innocent until proven guilty. And just because you see somebody in an area does not give you a right to approach them. They have to be in the process of committing a crime. And even then, you have to call 911 and let law enforcement deal with it.
Yes, and they didn't do that even when they called law enforcement. They still followed this man, uh, and it led to this tragedy that
Yeah,
took place that they
it's the,
caused.
these men came out of nowhere and they had no business coming out of nowhere. I mean, this wasn't their business to deal with. I mean, this was them trying to call themselves being heroes. This is a video I'm going to make that's going to come out this week. I talk about this hero complex. A lot of these males, what they want to do is they want to be the hero and the savior of the neighborhood. And what they do is they call themselves trying to create this event where they can save the neighborhood. But they, unfortunately, as we've seen in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman, these men show how much of a villain they are, because this is all about their egos and their feelings, and it's not about protecting anyone. It's all about them going out here and doing harm to others so that they can come out and be a hero. But they're no heroes at all, because heroes are accountable to other people, and heroes take responsibility for their actions. They don't participate in cowardly behaviors like we saw them do when they terrorized Ahmaud Arbery, and are further participating in by making ad hominem attacks about the man's hygiene. That shows how desperate these individuals are. And when you're desperate like this, it just proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that you were not there with any sort of good intentions. You just had malice of forethought.
Yeah, and Darius, they did not allow that in the trial. Remember, they objected when it was time for the prosecutor to cross-examine uh, Travis McMichael, and the reason why was because Brian, who was the co-defendant in this case, he claimed and maintained that allegedly he heard Travis McMichael refer to Ahmaud Arbery as a effing nigger, and he refused to testify. So because he was not going to testify, they weren't going to ask him about that, and as such, it's considered hearsay. So that's why that was taken out. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We got a lot of people. Davita Jenkins is in the house. We got Knight Rider. We got Black Voltron from the Bay. Doing live with the Black Channel. That's Jason Black. We're live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? All right, Darius from Atlanta. What's up, brother? Keith Williams says guilty, 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 peace and black power. No, they didn't really have a strong defense. So it's interesting how this is going to play out. And let me just point this out too, Shawn. That what they did by only having one black juror, that was strategic, because what they did was they asked more questions of the black jurors, got them dismissed, and they didn't do it for the white jurors. The prosecutor, Linda Dumikowski, who's the ADA, who's done a phenomenal job, in my opinion, they went around and she objected to it based off of this. The judge, Timothy Walmsley, who I think has been very professional, he even acknowledged that what they did was based off, they excluded blacks from this jury pool, but went ahead and said that he couldn't do anything because the laws forbid him to make any action on it. But it is not a mistake, ladies and gentlemen, that they got an elderly black man, one black juror that is sitting on that jury. Now, I'm hoping he stands tall and stands his ground, but keep in mind, verdicts have to be unanimous. So if it's 11-1, meaning 11 not guilty and 1 guilty, then and he stays to that, then what you got is a hung jury. And as such, it's a mistrial. They start all over again. So don't be surprised if that happens. But I'm thinking that they're going to walk. I just have that belief, in my opinion, that they're going to walk. I'm sorry, not walk. I think they're going to be convicted. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's 60 years old. He remembers them days of Jim Crow. I hope, but they got to go off the evidence. So we'll see. All right. This is some sad news I wanted to report. This was reported on yesterday that Malika Shabazz, the youngest daughter of Malcolm X, she was actually twin, one of the twin daughters, one half of the twin daughters that were born after her father was assassinated, was found dead at the age of 56 years old. Malika Shabazz, according to CNN, was found by her daughter unconscious at her Brooklyn home, according to the New York Police Department. The police said the death appeared to be due to natural causes. The cause of death is pending the final results of additional testing, but the death does not appear to be suspicious following initial review. This is, of course, coming from a spokesperson for the chief medical examiner of New York, Julie Bolser, Bernice King, daughter of the late Martin Luther King Jr., offered her condolences. I'm deeply saddened by the death of Malika Shabazz. My heart goes out to her family, the descendants of Dr. Betty Shabazz and Malcolm X. Dr. Shabazz was pregnant with Malika and her twin sister, Malak, when Brother Malcolm was assassinated. Be at peace, Malika, King said on Twitter. Now, they've reached out to the family with no comment at this point as to that. And this, of course, Shawn, is coming right after Judge Ellen Biven granted a motion to vacate the convictions of Muhammad A. Aziz and the late Khalil Islam. These men were falsely accused of the assassination of Malcolm X and spent nearly 20 plus years in prison for a crime they did not commit and were finally exonerated, although one has died and one is in his 80s. And Thomas Hager, who shot Malcolm X, who was paroled in the sometime in the late 80s, even wrote an affidavit saying that these two men were innocent of these crimes. Shawn, do you think, just curious, and of course thinking caps are going off, do you think that, well, first off, what are your thoughts on Malika Shabazz's passing? And you can go from there.
I am sorry to hear about the passing of Malika Shabazz, and I'm sorry that one of Brother Malcolm's daughters has passed away. And I'm really sad about that whole part of things, but sadly, if it was natural causes, there was nothing anybody could do. It just was her time. But I really don't want to go into conspiracy theories regarding the passing of Malika Shabazz. I mean, I really think of it as just something that has happened, and I just want to leave it at that and let the family mourn and grieve. Now, it is a very interesting coincidence that the time that she passes away is close to the time that these men were exonerated for the murder of her father, and we never will find out who actually murdered Malcolm X. But when I look at her passing, I just see it as her time, and I want to keep both events separated from each other until there's actual evidence to corroborate both of them together.
Well, I agree with that. There's no evidence to say that there's foul play in this as of now, but I will say this: I do find it mighty peculiar that after they exonerate these two men, that Malcolm and Betty's youngest daughter does die of mysterious natural causes, as they're calling it. But within 2 days after they made this announcement, it is strange. But stranger things have happened in the world, and that's a fact. We've also talked about the exoneration of these two men. The question then we all have to ask is, who did kill Malcolm X? If it were not these two men, who were the other individuals involved, and where are they? Because I can guarantee you that, and I know that Netflix documentary that's come in has made its allegations about the Nation of Islam and so forth, and tying it with that. But I can tell you emphatically, for someone to get away with a murder and live in plain sight for 56 years, that is not something that happens just from no Nation of Islam. That doesn't happen like that. Darius, she didn't commit suicide. Let's not say that. They just said she died of natural causes. We have to wait till the coroner's report comes out. So I want everybody to be cool. Just wait. Yeah, it does sound strange. I mean, I remember a few years ago, Malcolm X's grandson was found dead out in Mexico. And he died, his death, I believe many people have speculated and thought that something mysterious happened with that. We'll wait until all we can go on is what we have in the coroner's report and what's reported to us, but we don't know for sure. But do I put it past the government or put it past people that the Shabazz family is still being attacked? Of course they could be. This is America. Yes, it still goes on. You know, Andy Young actually gave a report on CNN when he talked about he still found wires coming to his house that showed he was being bugged. So COINTELPRO has never stopped. Let's just leave it at that. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, guys. Please donate to the Cash App. You can see that at the ticker at the bottom. Gavin Richard Esquire, Gavin Richard Esquire, if you like the channel. We'll go into our last topic, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know about you, Shawn, but have you watched or plan to watch the HBO Max movie, King Richard?
I may take a look at it if somebody donates to the Cash App. I may go over and take a look at it and give it a review since it's on HBO Max. So if anybody drops $14.99 on the Cash App, I'll definitely take a look at it.
Okay. I'm having some connection issues, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to connect to the stronger Wi-Fi. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. Something was going on. Right when we're talking about Malcolm X and COINTELPRO, I start having streaming issues. Who knows? Shawn is skeptic.
Yeah, that's kind of suspicious. Yeah, I mean, I had issues on my live stream last week when I was talking about the bus downtown and talking about how this is the final fate of the last of your American woman. I mean, certain subjects your online companies don't like people talking about because it doesn't fit their narrative. Now, again, if you were talking about big butts, you got full streaming power.
Yeah, of course, big butts or even little butts. Shit, if they show 14-year-old kids shaking their butts, they'll put that on here. They'll put it on TikTok. On Twitter, I could be suspended for calling somebody a MF. that was attacking me or anything like that. I had a lesbian feminist come at me. It was shaped like a linebacker, and I was ribbing her back, and I got suspended for a whole week from Twitter. So I really don't care for neither of them. I'm trying to watch my language tonight because I don't want them. Well, I don't care.
Yeah, you don't want to get into trouble because people look for things to flag you and take you down.
Right. Well, I noticed this, and I've been seeing this. I talked about this on Sunday, Shawn. There has been an attack on black men in general, but particularly on Richard Williams since this movie came out this past Friday and it debuted. Now, those who are familiar with Richard Williams' story, he is the father of Venus and Serena Williams, arguably the greatest tennis players to ever live, at least greatest female tennis players to ever play on the court, future Hall of Famers, and brand ambassadors. They have had successful careers, and it's all in debt to their father. And their father, who came from Shreveport, Louisiana, moved his family to Compton, did not even know did not even know much about the sport of tennis, but worked with his daughters day and night until they reached unprecedented success. Now, the Sun, which is a tabloid media, so it's no surprise they would say something like this. But notice how the head of this is entitled: "Courting Controversy: How Venus and Serena Williams' father, King Richard, walked out on first family and left wife to raise 6 kids alone." Now, of course, this is not the only article that I have found on here that they've attacked Mr. Williams. They've even had a feminist, white and black, but one feminist in particular, who asked, why are they making a movie on Venus and Serena Williams' father and not on Venus and Serena themselves? In fact, that person got criticized and called out. And what's funny is that Venus and Serena are the ones who produced this movie. You see this here on TMZ. I'll put that up in a second, but and I'm going to share the Sun article again. But this is TMZ. This is the tweet that went out. I called this woman out before. And Dr. Jessica Taylor says, did they seriously make a film called King Richard about the success of Serena and Venus Williams, but it's about their dad, Richard? I get this has annoyed people, but I genuinely didn't expect a film about two of the most powerful, successful, and amazing black female athletes to be named after a man or center a man. I would have loved this film to be all about them and not a man. That's it, really. And people lashed into her ass. Of course, she's not alone. And there are some others, and we have right now the Sun talking about how Richard Williams left his first wife and left them on their own. Now, my understanding is Mr. Williams has suffered a series of strokes, and he very rarely makes appearances and talks. I remember when Mr. Williams actually would appear on the show on the courtside at Wimbledon at the U.S. Open, where he would have signs basically applauding his daughters, praising them, and just being a coach, a happy father, like any father who would be excited that his children are playing in the Grand Slam of tennis and kicking butt and making millions of dollars. But they talked about how specifically talking to his first daughter, eldest child, Sabrina, who says here that he was, quote, just a sperm donor. Now, you may think, well, they went to the daughter and the daughter is saying all of this. And yes, I'm sure it is. But this has been old news, apparently, because people have talked about how Venus and Serena have half siblings already. And Richard Williams is now 79, living with his wife, Betty Johnson. She had one child from another relationship, and they had 5 more kids. I had 2 childhoods. The childhood from 1 to 8 was fantastic, Sabrina recalled. But once he left within a year, we became very poor. There wasn't always meals on the table. We went downhill. His desertion hit the family very hard. Now, I won't read all of it, But apparently, I guess Sabrina's, clearly she's upset about the way her dad treated her. But guys, this is an attack on black masculinity. Make no doubt about it. Shawn, I'm gonna let you speak because I know you got to get out of here. But what are your thoughts, if you could tell us, on this hit piece on Richard Williams and why we keep seeing more of these hit pieces, especially after the movie came out just Friday?
Well, this is just par for the course with your mainstream media. Your white supremacists don't like to see stories about black men who are leaders, black men who are fathers, and they don't like to see positive stories that show you heterosexual black men in a positive light. Now, what's being done as related to this movie, King Richard, is no different than what was done to your Nate Parker as related to his film Birth of a Nation, and done to done to several other films that featured positive images of black men, positive representations of black manhood, and a positive presentation of black masculinity. What your white supremacists do is they recruit their bootlicks from like these black feminists to write these hit pieces to attack black men so that they can go out here and promote these negative stereotypes about black men and black fathers. And what they want to do is minimize the accomplishments that Richard Williams did with Venus and Serena in shaping them to become champions and to become tennis legends, because both of those girls know that they would not have that success if it wasn't for their father coaching them and demanding excellence. And what they want to do is tear down this black father who has gone out of his way to shape and mold his daughters and help them become the greatest tennis players over time. And I've been following Richard Williams ever since I first heard about Venus and Serena on the Montel Williams show. And he's done a great job with his two daughters and helping them achieve success. And maybe he would have been able to help those other children had their mothers not gotten in the way. Now, I know that's a little personal for some people, but a lot of times men, they try to work with different women, but sometimes those women don't want to work with them because either they have trust issues, either they have daddy issues, or they just don't want to submit to male authority or male authority figures. And because they don't want to work with that man can't build with that woman. So a lot of times women want to say, oh, this father was a no good man, but they don't want to look at the mother's side and how the mother oftentimes kept the father from being able to do work with his children. Because sometimes the father wants to go out here and work with those children, but if those children are not supportive of the father and not cooperating with him, he cannot help them see a bigger picture of the world or help them persevere in the face of adversity. Sometimes a lot of boys and girls, they get hindered because mom has insecurity issues, and those issues keep them from having that relationship with that father that will help them be able to go out here and accomplish great things. So a lot of people want to attack Richard Williams as related to that the other families out here, but they don't want to look at the big picture and see the other side of the story. Because it's easy to say, oh, we're going to say that he left that family, but you have to have known what that is. And if you know what these type of situations are, you know that sometimes the guy wants to go out here and work with those kids, but if he can't get support from the mother and he can't get support from the kids, what is that man supposed to do? And what your black feminists and your white supremacists want to do is they want to tear down Richard Williams, make him the bad guy, but he's not the bad guy in this situation. And his daughters know he's not the bad guy. That's why they produced this film. But your Hollywood does not like these kinds of stories about heterosexual black men, because when we have stories about heterosexual black men that show them as fathers who love their daughters, have great relationships with their daughters, and go out here and help their daughters achieve success, and most importantly, show their daughters love, that goes against the white supremacist narrative which shows only black fathers as lazy, incompetent, not willing to be there. And Richard Williams was none of those things. He was there for Venus and Serena, and I guarantee you he would have been there for other children, and he probably is there for the family he's in with right now. But they want to tear this man down, but you cannot tear him down. Just like Bill Cosby, it's irrefutable what this man has done. His legacy is cemented as a man, and he has shown us a positive example of black manhood and black masculinity. And he is a man I have great respect for, and a man who has gone out here and helped his daughters achieve great success. So I look at him and I see somebody that we can't, they're trying to tear down the same way they try to tear down Nate Parker, and the same way they try to tear down any black man who creates positive images and has a positive story. Because most of your white supremacists and most of your black feminists, they don't want you to see a positive image of a black man, because in their twisted mind, the only black men they want to see are brutes, deviants, and monsters. And if you create an image that refutes that narrative, all those people start to lose it, and then they want to tear down said individual because it doesn't fit into their smooth world, and it would possibly inspire others to go out here and be their best as well.
Yeah, I got people. I'm looking on my Facebook page. I'm looking at this and I see someone said, this is an old story, laugh out loud. Nobody just dug this up. People just weren't paying attention. Well, apparently people are talking about it. You know, people have this. I don't know what these, and this is all, and it's always black women that are talking about this shit, bringing this shit up.
Well, what they're doing is they're projecting their feelings.
What offends me the most is that all of these women who talk, you come from a black father, and if you can't see that the media is trying to shame black men, talking about this man, you say it's old news. Why the hell is TMZ talking about it then? Why are they talking? Obviously, because there's a movie that came out, right? So if there's a movie that came out, they're interested in Richard Williams' career, his life. I'm looking at this here. This is an old interview when he checked that white supremacist reporter that kept prodding Venus questions about why she's so confident. Watch this. This is what we need. This is black. This is black fatherhood right here.
Very confident. Yank. You say it so easily. Why? Because I believe it. Let me tell you why. But she said it with so much confidence the first time. But you keep on. So we can't keep interrupting. I mean, if you want, you got to understand that you're dealing with an image of a 14-year-old child. And this child gonna be out there playing with you, holding my ass, and me gonna be in the grave. When she says something, we done told you what's happening. You're dealing with a little black kid, and let her be a kid. She'll answer with a lot of confidence. Leave that alone.
He handled it like a man.
Right, he handled it like a man. That's what a father does. You've asked my daughter once, no need to ask again. Just like Earl Woods, Tiger Woods' father, Joe Jackson. Remember, they didn't like Joe Jackson.
They don't like any black man who's in a leadership role.
They didn't like Tiger. They didn't even like Tiger Woods' father, and he was a veteran. No, they don't like. I'm sorry, I'm commenting. It's old news, even if you're just coming across the info. Obviously, it would come back up now. Whatever, fuck. And this is a fellow lawyer, by the way. Okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth over this. But no, you need black fathers in the world. You need black men to stand up. And I see Richard Williams, I see Joe Jackson, I see Earl Woods, Lieutenant Colonel Earl Woods as men who saw greatness in their children and wanted to share that with the world but most importantly, put them on the path that they were. Do you honestly think Venus and Serena would want, like Harvey brought this up earlier? Shout out to Harvey Superboy, guys. Do you honestly think Venus and Serena Williams would trade places with anybody coming from fucking Compton? They would give up what they have now? Fuck no. Hell no. You think they would give that up? Everything that they've earned? He kept these kids from being pregnant. Think about this. He came from Shreveport, Louisiana, which is one of the most racist cities in the United States. The song "Change Is Gonna Come" came from Richard Williams. Came from Sam Cooke, based off of an experience he had in Shreveport at the hotel when they wouldn't let black people come in, and they said there was no vacancies, even though the sign said vacant. And Sam Cooke went off. He came from that era. Richard Williams came from that, and he takes his family, moves out to Compton, California, with no background in tennis, but has them. I haven't even seen the movie, but trains his daughters into tennis, learning how to play the sport, knowing the game, and even playing, being tennis partners with Ronald Reagan, hanging out with the president, going up there, playing tennis back and forth with these white boys and white girls and whipping their ass. And Martina Navratilova, whatever the hell her name is, got on here and had the nerve to say there's no racism in tennis. No, there's racism in America. There's racism in the world. You're right about that. It's everywhere. It's not in tennis. It's in the world. That's a broader concept. And she said that the girls, she actually wrote this and said that there's no racism as far as I know. I think that people have been treating them with kids' gloves because they are African Americans. And if they were white, they would have been told off before and more. And she said that Richard Williams, she implied that Richard Williams was a bad influence. The girls are great. They're great athletes, nice women. I like them a lot, and their father seems to be getting in the way. That's what I have to say about that, and he's probably going to yell at me next time he sees me. How do you get in the way? He's the reason why they are a success.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Richard, they wouldn't be anything.
Exactly. Just like if it weren't for Joe Jackson, it'd be no Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson.
Because people don't understand the impact of a father. They don't understand how just being there drives you, because fathers do not allow you to just give up. I mean,
fathers push you.
Yeah, they push you. They demand better. They expect better of you. And they insist that you just keep persevering. That's the impact of a father in the home, is he's not going to let you just walk away from something the way a single mom would. And he's not going to settle for less. He has standards for his children. He has expectations, and he insists that his kids step up and bring themselves up to another level.
Yeah. Shawn, I know you got to run, but I want to play this quick video. This is the stuff I'm talking about, especially with these little snotty ass news reporters, like you saw on ABC. This is the Super Bowl back in 2007 with Janet Jackson. Did y'all see this? Shout out to my brother Jaleel, True Logic 94 on Twitter. This is what happened. He put this up, and he was quoting in Taj Jackson, and Taj follows me, by the way. Taj is Tito's son. Oh, I don't think that he's talking about this news anchor, Mark Allen, who was pestering Janet. But look at this. This is what happened.
I tell you this. I absolutely am hoping that the Jets go to the Super Bowl this year. I really am.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, Janet How often do you consider that you single-handedly rocked the broadcast world? Policy around the world, FCC policies have changed, and millions of dollars have changed hands as a result of that single incident at the Super Bowl.
Not only that, why did I get married when it opens on the 12th here? I think that people will see what a great actress he is.
Dodging and weaving, bobbing and weaving. Is it just me, or is Janet wearing iron suspenders right now? Is that the way you roll these days? Is it that bad?
Is what bad? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing's bad, no.
Everything's great. We're here to talk about the movie. I just think that we should keep it to what we wanted to talk about. It's about why did I get married, right?
Absolutely. Any wardrobe malfunctions in this movie?
Yes, there were actually. I had a few. Yeah, I had a few.
So that'll be on the DVD when they come out, right?
The extras. Okay, we'll move back to the movie. Are we the first people to ask you guys about that? Are we the first to bring it up?
Yeah, you're the first to bring it up, which is really surprising to me because we were only talking about the movie.
Well, if you want to send complaints, we're KCD Channel 10.
No, it's quite all right. We were warned. We were warned.
Hey, you guys, thanks for joining us this morning. Janet and Tyler, wish the best of luck with the movie.
And next time, let Tyler get in a word, Janet, would you?
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for
getting that all morning long.
Well, you know, we probably should have told them we're CBS station, CBS-owned station, so it affected us directly.
Exactly, because Viacom owns MTV that had the issue. I just wanted to know what went on. Was it really planned? And I know she's been asked that before, and I know she's not going to give a straight answer, but I just want to know, like, did you and Justin Timberlake say, hey, what if, like, in the middle of it, you sneak a peek? What do you say?
I can't believe that they would ever do that on purpose. She seemed hot, shocked, and horrified. I'm sure it was. And it was just an unfortunate wardrobe malfunction, as we've all come to call it.
Right. If anything like that happened of that significance with me, I would have a stock answer ready, right? I wouldn't go, well, I can't hear. Suddenly I can't hear a word that's being said. What?
Now, she didn't say a word. That's how you got beat. She didn't say a word. She wasn't playing into that crap. I'll never forget when Bette Miller made some remarks after Joe Jackson died, hoping he burned in hell. I'm like, what? Yeah, he was being disrespectful. They're still trying to blame Janet for that Super Bowl thing. And not Justin Timberlake. He plays no role in it. He whitened up real quick when the censors were coming down on him. But yeah, this is an attack on, make no mistake, Richard Williams is a proxy for black men, ladies and gentlemen. And we do this every Tuesday, every Thursday, and Sunday. We're talking random topics, and we're spitting that fire for y'all tonight. And this was a special night, obviously. We have the Thanksgiving holiday coming up on Thursday, so I knew Shawn was going to be busy. And I was likely, I am going to be busy because I'm going out of town. But I want to say first and foremost, Shawn, before you leave, because I know you got to run, what are you thankful for this year, or whatever in life?
Well, I'm just thankful to be here another year, and I thank God for the opportunity to be able to sit and talk to you during this show. I thank God for the opportunity to be able to do lives, because I remember a couple of years ago when I had absolutely nothing. I was living off $60 a month that a family member was giving me, and I remember being at the worst point in my life around 2003 to about 2008 or so. And I thank God that I'm able to finally be here and be able to finally be in a place where I can do the YouTube I want to do, be able to get books out to people, and finally be able to start making some serious steps towards moving my life forward. I mean, I thank God because I was in a bad place at one time, and I'm still seeing a little bit of momentum, but I'm still trying to keep moving forward. But I thank God for every day that I'm alive and able to do what I'm doing right now.
Most definitely. Well, let me tell you what I am thankful for. I'm thankful for all of my subscribers and supporters over the last, I would say we've had the last year or two since I've been doing these live streams. Of course, my channel has been up much longer. I've been up for about 13 years or so, 14 years when I was created my YouTube username. And I started really doing my videos to promote my book, Katrina Eyes Have Not Seen, Ears Have Not Heard. But I decided to talk more and more topics that were concerning our community, the Black community in particular, my country, this country, then the world, that most of you all will not see on mainstream media. And of course, I'm not alone. And I'm thankful for all of you who have supported me, people that have donated, like Brother Darius from Atlanta, like Black Mama. I haven't seen her lately, but Black Voltron, Gordon Freeman, Vulcan, Computer Robots, just a bunch of y'all, DeAndre, Lamiko. I can't say enough. Computer Robots, especially Tina Ferguson. I can't say enough from you guys. And I know Thanksgiving already passed for Camille up in Canada, because I believe Thanksgiving is in October. So we're about to have ours. But shout out to New Black Media. Yes, I'm thankful for Nicole from Nicole's View. I'm thankful for Juan B with Hotepish. I'm thankful for Brother Bernard, Judge Joe Brown, a bunch of people who I have made acquaintance with. Queen Adaya Shakur, I can't forget her. A bunch of people. Valerie Denise Jones, I'm thankful for all of you. One Who Cares. So all of you that have contributed to this channel and stuck with it, I appreciate it. And yes, Shawn, keep reaching for the stars, man. You're going to get there. I have no doubt, because you've written 75 books. You should be a millionaire by now.
I wish I was.
I wish I was too. Just like
Maybe I'll get there one day. We'll see.
Well, I will get there sooner than later. I believe that. And, especially being a lawyer, that helps. I mean, you don't get where you are overnight. You got to make a name for yourself. And Johnny Cochran started out working for the city of Los Angeles as a prosecutor, and there was a point where he couldn't even ask questions during cross-examination. So everybody starts somewhere. I started hanging my own shingle ever since and never looked back. I work as a PD, and I'm doing independent stuff here. So shout out to New Black Media. Yes, I have my own music publishing company. I'm working music. I work in writing with the book coming out and a bunch of stuff. So I'm thankful for all that. I'm thankful for being alive, and I'm thankful for my family, my friends, and my girlfriend, Tanisha. I'm thankful for you, and mom and dad, my brother and my nephews, my sister-in-law, everybody that's been impacted my life somehow. All my family, cousins, aunts. So thankful for all of y'all. Thank God I get to see. Well, it's not Thursday yet, but I live to see another Thanksgiving. So, but in the meantime, Shawn, because you got to go, why don't you do some plug-ins?
Again, I have the new fall books on the SJS Direct 2021 catalog, Stop Simping in Cyberspace and E-Steam Cancel Vacation, are available on Amazon.com right now in paperback and Kindle format. And Stop Simping in Cyberspace is also available on Google Play. And I also have a lot of great titles on the SJS Direct imprint, which would make great holiday gifts for young readers, such as the ISIS series books like ISIS Revenge of the Cyber Goddess, John Haynes Taking Care of Business, and other novels I have written, such as Spellbound and The Fadas. And these are all great positive stories about Black characters that show you a diverse world of the Black experience and Black culture. So I'm asking everybody to head over there and pick up some of those books on Amazon.com and make great holiday gifts for the reader in your family.
Most definitely. Buy Black, especially for the holidays if you can. Support your Black-owned businesses. So Shawn has one. I have, of course, my book, ladies and gentlemen. We've talked about it before. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., Destruction of Due Process in the United States. That is available, will be available soon. I don't have an exact date, but what you can do is go to Facebook right now, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel so that way, to the page, so that way when the book goes live, when there are events talking about it, we will go ahead. You will be the first to know because I'm putting everything on this page. Shout out to all, we've got over, 40 plus likes, I believe, on this book. You can go to Commonwealth Cos. That's where you can search and find the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr. I'd appreciate if you guys would go there now. If you have not, you need to go there. You need to check it out. You need to download the trailer, watch the trailer on YouTube as I've put out. We have a lot of people who I know will enjoy this book. Shawn has read it and finished it. I know he loves it. He says it's going to be a great read. If he says it, then you got to believe him. We've got 40 people that like this. We want to get to 100 people this week. I want 100 people to like this by this week. So, guys, please hit that like button on that page. You're thankful that the Dirty Bird season is almost over, Darius. I'd be thankful when the Saints get out of this too hump that they're in. And yes, grateful that the Dirty Bird season will be over. So I'll be happy about that too. But anyway, yes, we are, Tina, multi-talented men. Thank you, sister. Appreciate it. Hey, you can't talk. Well, Atlanta. Y'all need a new coach. Win one soon. He's from China. Win one soon. That's his name. Hey, we didn't blow the lead 28-3. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for another episode of Gavin Richard Presents here on Channel G7. Oh, I got to ring them. 28-3. They will never let that down. You can never let that down. Biggest comeback in football history right there. Or you could say most scripted event. Who knows? Shout out to everybody that's joined. Shawn, before you leave, I'm going to live off the channel. I do want to ask you a quick question. But you guys support Brother Shawn James. That's his Cash App. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the Cash App at the bottom for me. And also, let me just, of course, pay some dues. If you would like, if you have not, ladies and gentlemen, you need to go to the website, nonniescreoleblends.com, nonniescreoleblends.com, and order some seasoning for the holidays. If you want to spice up your gumbo here, if you're in Louisiana, if you want to touch up your turkey for Christmas, go ahead and order nonniescreoleblends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nonnies goes great with every dish. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of pieces I have. Check out Video Soul that is available on Amazon, Spotify, and Apple. It is also available on, we have I believe it's in Pandora, if I'm not mistaken, but it's good if you can go stream it. You can download the song. I would be well appreciated if you could do that. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get on up. This is our closing song for our show. As we have gotten on down, it is now time to get on up. I will see you all probably this Sunday. I will not go live Thursday, but I will likely have a repeat show that I'll do from last week that will air. So if you see me talking about old issues, that's why, because I just want to keep you in mind. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all in the next one. Happy Thanksgiving. Be one. Stay strong. We love you. Peace. I'll holla.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken brokenhearted. When the river takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the brokenhearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Wait, Godman, you're not gonna wish me a happy Thanksgiving? Sure, Charles. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, personally, I don't need your Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving gonna be filled with turkey, oyster dressing, ham, and that macaroni and cheese. Only problem is, it's gonna make me fart, and that'll be terrible, terrible, terrible for anybody sitting next to me. Charles Barkley, you need to sit your crazy ass now. I see a Steve Harvey Thanksgiving that's gonna be filled with turkey and some ham and that collard greens. Oh yes, it's gonna be a Southern Thanksgiving. Although I'm from Cleveland, y'all. Y'all have a happy, blessed Thanksgiving and good night, ladies and gentlemen. On Gavin Reshaw Presents.